Hello and welcome to another Faction Challenge stream. Sorry I've started just a little bit late. For some reason in my head this was supposed to start in half an hour, but the schedule said otherwise. Anyway, welcome to another live stream. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be reading the rest of the faction challenges, rest of the faction narratives today. And without further ado, let us look right into it. Let's see, faction submissions. We have a couple more that we need to get through. There were 3 more submissions, so I think we're going to be reading 4 or 5 today. 4 or 5 today. Right. Let's look at Discord. There's Discord. Perfect. Also, I'm going to quickly double check to make sure. Yep. Okay. Chat is running fine. Oops. Discord is here. I also need to quickly check, make sure that my quotas are being used correctly, and it looks like. Hold on a second. It looks like we're good. Right, let's get right into this. Hello, everyone. Hello, and hello. We've read the infestation. We have not read the overachievers. So I guess we just go through and read the ones we haven't read yet. Let's take a look at this one. Ooh, okay. This one looks like a really short story. Okay. This one is by. Who is this by? This is by Isaac from the Nova faction. Alright. Isaac from the Nova faction. When will I use the left box over there? So over this weekend I will be making Discord change. Well, okay, tonight I will be releasing the test version. Over the weekend I will be doing Discord changes, also fixing the box up here. And then next week, hopefully, I will have access to GameMaker's new update. I requested access, but it's still technically in beta, but I want it like now. I want it like ASAP. I've been waiting for this for years. Anyway, let's start reading. Let us start reading. Okay. Once upon a time, somewhere in Illa, one of the Novas got in the fight with Prime. They first started with cannons. They were swooping around like swallows until the Prime said, "Ha! I'll surely triumph over you, you Nova scum. Take this quick shot." The Prime had upgraded their island a bit. Then the Nova responded with, "Not today, pal. Take this Turnian." The Nova had also upgraded their island a bit. They were slinging and swinging around, firing many shots, until the Nova said again, "This is getting tiring, weakling. Take this mortar." The Nova had upgraded their island yet again. "You really think you're going to best me with that? Take this spread gun," the Prime set back. So they were fighting and fighting non-stop, waiting for the opposing island to finally give up. But nothing happened. Nothing happened for a very long time. They kept shooting, floating, flying, strategically maneuvering, but nothing would happen. So the Prime said, "Ugh, come on. I'll surely get you with this. Take this railgun." The Nova said, "Oh, really, truly pathetic. Take this Christicle, mortal." And so they kept battling at each other, roaring, not stopping, lacking hesitation. They kept battling one another, waiting for the right moment that one would just crumble and shatter, but it didn't happen. Hours passed, days even. They both finally lost it. The Nova said, "Haha, you're very bad at fighting. Take this. Obliterator missile, please." The Prime said, "Oh, really? I have one too." The Nova said, "I have 2. The Prime said, "I have 3. The Prime said, "I have 5. No, Nova said, "I have 5. The Prime said, "I have 10. They kept building up on their obliterator missiles over and over again, completely jam-packing their island with them, until they realized flotrons. Whee! And then they fell into the never-ending void, never to be seen again. Wow. Okay, this is a cute short story. Cute short story about Nova and Prime fighting. Not quite what I was looking for, but it was quite enjoyable to read about all these different weapons that they have been equipping with. Yeah, wow. In the end, they both died. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna give this one a treasure box, since we have already read this. Great story. Right, now we have Mysterious Force, which this one, I believe, yes, this one was, no, didn't I already read this? No, I didn't read this. Okay, well, let's go ahead and read this. No. How? How did that happen? How did I was trying to move it around and I clicked it. Hopefully you didn't hear that. I'm not sure if you were able to hear that. All right. Now we have Mysterious Force. This one is by Meeple Musicians from the Strike Faction. And it's back again. How's it back again? No, it's gone. Please don't edit this while I read it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. This looks like it's a log. May 23rd, XXXX. Not much is progressing in research. Our mining site is reporting strange energy readings. I'll fly my island over there to take a look. May 29th. Being near the massive island being excavated is already making me feel like some pulsating energy is radiating from the center of the island. April the 1st. Someone touched the strange source of energy. Their hand was severely burned. We must handle it with care. April the 5th. A massive crystal was extracted from the island. It's hard to explain. It's also crimson color that's both dark and light at the same time. It's pulsating. It's also levitating. I'll call it Voidstone. April the 6th. Pieces from the Voidstone still pulsate like the main crystal, but now it feels like there is a second, weaker pulse. Cut shards will cause multiple pulse generations. The ground down doesn't seem to pulse. Not as strong, but a touch will still burn. April the 7th. A shard was cut out to be a fit replacement for normal crystal used in lasers. What'll happen? April 8th. The railgun we used had to be modified to be able to fire more energy because a normal amount of energy couldn't travel through the shard. Result, a powerful dark crimson beam. Same color as Voidstone. It inflicts extreme amount more damage than normal. It completely tore through the island we mined the Voidstone crystal out of. This is the Hover News Network. Breaking news. Reports of a powerful dark red laser beam from an unknown source from various towns came in. There were no victims, but people are afraid of it. More to come as reports come in. The Hover News Network report concerns the entire team. Oh, what? Okay. We'll relocate so as not to compromise our research. It needs to stay hidden. Oh, so this is a log again. The Hover News Network report concerns the Hover News Network report concerns the entire team. We'll relocate so as not to compromise our research. It needs to stay hidden. April the 11th. Someone thought of the idea to place a Voidstone shard to replace the normal crystal power source in a warp gate. The different energy may cause something interesting to happen. April the 12th. I see where this is going. A portal glows inside a dark crimson red, unlike the normal blue or purple. We're heading in, though we don't know what's on the other side. Teleportation to an area only accessible through Voidstone-powered warps. The power it has, this must be the answer. We finally gain control over nature itself. Hover News Network. Breaking news. Reports have finally arrived from multiple families from all three factions that their members have gone missing. Could it be linked to the Crimson Laser from last week? We'll share more information as we get more information. That's kind of funny thing. We'll share more information as we get more information. 2 years later, the Hover News Network. Breaking news. A mysterious, extremely technologically advanced group has appeared out of nowhere. Reports say a massive crimson warp gate appeared without warning and islands advanced like none they've ever seen flew out of it. Multiple towns around Illa have reported islands being taken over and being controlled by a sort of infestation. No one knows who the group is, but the color of the warp gate makes people believe it's connected to the mysterious force from About Laser and disappearances 2 years ago. The factions are teaming up to try to defeat the unknown force and are recruiting the factionless. We'll continue to inform what happens as this happens. Hover News Network. Breaking news. This image suddenly appeared on our data storage. We don't know where it came from. We believe it's a symbol of the unknown force. And we have a glitched void. So I see how this is trying to explain the origin of the void. The origin of the void. However, the void, well, currently in the game, the void had been gone for a long time. A long, long time. But yes, they were very technologically advanced. Um, if we look into the public lore, they were gone for a long time. But I like this. I like this idea of coming back. But 2 years, 2 years is a very short time to come back. Oh my! Everything is a link. How is everything a link to Rick Rolls? What? How does that even happen? Okay, well, that was interesting. But it's at least it's popping up here. It's not popping up with my mouse. Or else if I double click, I'll just accidentally click it. Right. Interesting. Interesting. Very very interesting indeed. Um, mysterious force, source of the void. I like it. Okay. Planet of War. It's done. It's just short. Okay. This one is apparently done. It's just short. Okay. Well, this is very short. This is 50 words, less than 100 words. One summer day in Illa, there was a guy named Leroy Johnson who was called Caher, made a video game. This video game took place in an absolutely absurd world where there was only one floating island where everyone lived. There were three major factions. They were Boom, Peace, and Lunge. I'm assuming this is Nova, Prime, and Strike. In this world where the massive areas of dirt were divided by water, the night and day cycles were caused by the island spinning, and a bigger island that glowed really bright making it day. It was called the sun. When the island was looking away from the glowing island, it was night. J. Wiggs, care. Is it just care? Is it like a KH together, not a Caher? It's a care. Okay. And then that's it. The end. It's just hair? I'm confused. Hair? Wig? One summer day, there's a guy, Leroy Johnson. He made a video game. Wait. Hold on a second. No, no. JWigs equals Caher. JWigs equals Caher? K hair, comma J wigs, wigs like fake hair. I don't get what the K is though. Is it like just JK? Is it the next letter in the alphabet? Anyway, I have my cup with me. That's interesting. Um, this is a parallel. Okay, yeah, I do see the parallels. But there's not much of a story here. Like, story compositions. You need like a beginning, you need a middle, you need an end. Um, and it needs to have like some sort of like crisis. This is just kind of talking. So, not much of a story. Interesting parallel though. Very interesting parallel. And I'm going to move over back to Discord while I double check my quota. I think I'm good. I think I won't have to check this. I think I'm good. What time is this? This is, how long have I been streaming? 15 minutes in, and we are at 1250, 1300. Yeah, so we should be good. We should be good. We should be very good. Okay. I still don't get the hair joke or thing. Um, give us a shot of a cup, like just the cup. Like we've got the cup here. We have the cup. Um, I've used this cup plenty of times. Yeah, it's done. It's just it's okay. Okay, it's interesting. Right now we have one, two, three. We've got three more. The cup building emote? No, you already have. You got it for April Fool's Day. Um, the cup building as an emote. Oh, oh, the cup building. Oh, okay, okay. I get what you mean. Okay, yeah, we'll stick that in. Um, the raid of Nadru Tagu. Okay, let's read this. This looks interesting. This looks interesting. Right. This is the raid of Nadru Tagu. There existed a group of pirates who wandered from one inch of Illa to the other, raiding villages and islands of any kind, stealing their riches and kidnapping potential recruits. The pirates, who acquired some anonymous intel from a shady source, were going at full speed towards a supposedly assigned to space. The raid group had 10 people. For such a lonely island, 10 people would normally be overkill, but little did they know that shady source was the scientist himself. When they arrived at the coordinates given by the shady source, they saw the flying island covered with a light blue bubble shield. It had some simple vegetation on it, but compared to most of Prime Federation, it was barren. After going around to find any sort of entrance, they decided to land on the island and search for a hidden door. A couple hours passed when they found a manhole cover hidden under a rock. It was locked with a simple padlock. The manhole cover had the symbol of the Prime Federation in its center, and had the symbol of the Prime Federation in its center, and the text "Secret Hideout of Nadru Tagu" along the edge. The pirates broke open the lock and went down the vertical shaft underneath, one by one, leaving a couple guards outside just in case. Below the entrance was a waiting room decorated with couches and potted plants, while the walls were all metal plated. They were greeted with a voice coming from the small floating island that also lit up the room. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not English. Willkommen, Angrij. Eindrilin. Oh my goodness. Willkommen, Eindringlinj. I assume that's like welcome, friends. Warten Sie, dass ich nicht richtig. This is German, I bet. This is German. Yeah, Dutch or German. Budigil. Bukan ini juga. Oh, I see. You're switching through languages. You're switching through like multiple languages. I see what you're doing here. Bukan ini juga. Tunsti tire. Yeah, this is Bahasa. I recognize Bahasa. And then so it's switching. It's like welcome, intruders. Welcome, intruders. I prepared some gifts for the likes of you, who dare interrupt my progress. You shall be punished, whomever you might be. Face my wrath. At the same time, the small island slowly started drifting to the pirates. The pirates, expecting some sort of trap, quickly took out the small islands by shooting them, which made the small islands explode violently, damaging the furniture and charring the metal walls black. After all the small islands were taken out, the room was complete in darkness as there was no light source remaining. Around them, the sounds of machinery started echoing through the room. Then the pirate group took out their flashlights and started to search the room for a way deeper into the island. They discovered another hidden door under one of the destroyed couches. The door opened up to a short flight of stairs, which led to a long corridor with dozens of doors lined up one after another. The doors had stripes above them, a couple blue, a couple green, a lot red, and a few yellow. They started looking inside the rooms. One of the pirates opened a green-coated door. Behind it was a small closet with a hatch at the bottom. The pirate that found the hatch... The pirate that opened... Wait, no, where was I? The pirate that found it opened the hatch and found a pitch-black tunnel going down. Thinking it was some sort of hidden tunnel that led into the depths, he tied himself to the door and went down the hole. Got it. So this is kind of like the labyrinth idea, where you tie a string and then you go down so you can finally figure out where you're going. Smart guy. It's a smart pirate. After descending for some time, the hatch suddenly slid shut, slicing the rope he tied to the door. Another hatch immediately opened below, showing the endless void underneath the island. What he went through was not a hidden door or hatch, but rather the garbage disposal closet instead. That's funny. Another pirate, so that was the green door. Green door is garbage disposal. Another pirate opened a red door and got instantly blasted with a full-size cannon in the face. Hearing the sound of the cannon, the other pirates peeked out of the rooms they were in to see most of the corridor painted red with blood and whatever was left of their comrade. They made a note in the back of their heads not to open red doors. One of them went to a blue marked door and found a big room with more fridges and microwaves than you would see in a household appliance store. He opened one of the fridges and found a mountain of instant and canned foods. The next one was packed full of carbonated drinks. And the next one was full of sentient vines. Upon opening the fridge, immediately wrapped themselves around him and closed the door. He was never heard from again. Having already lost 3 people and not found either the person who talked to them at the entrance or anything of value, the pirates started to get worried. As they kept checking the rooms for anything of value, they eventually reached the end of the corridor. In front of them was a vault door. It was about 3 meters high and 2 meters wide. There was a console next to the door, presumably for a password near the vault. After a couple minutes of tinkering with the console, attaching a couple devices that brute forced the password, and waiting a couple hours for the device to do its job, they heard a beep from the device. It had broken the relatively simple 4-digit password, 4655. Why is that number so familiar? That number's familiar because this is my Discord ID. Let me double check that. That's what I'm pretty sure it is. Where is it? Is it I believe that's my Discord ID. Very nice, very nice. After entering the password, the vault door slowly opens. Inside is a spacious room. In front of them is a red carpet with potted trees on the sides, which have... Yes, it is. Yes, I got it. Yeah! In front of them is a red carpet with potted trees on the sides which have roots connecting to the floor and the walls. The walls are covered with green and pulsing plants, ? There is a big table and an office chair with a man in his 40s. The man is wearing a lab coat and has a pair of unnecessary complex-looking sets of glasses on his head. ? I see that you have finally managed to reach the end of your little adventure, brave intruders. He stood up from his office and opened his arms. I am Nadru Tagu, the owner of this island and a man of science. It seems you have enjoyed my gifts, he said as he looked the group of pirates in the eye. The pirates, wanting to get out of there as soon as possible, try shooting Nadru Tagu. The bullets quickly slowed to a halt, turn 180, and hits the wall behind them, as if they were being pulled by the wall. You thought I wouldn't be prepared for such feeble means of attack. Well, let us see how you deal with this. He pulls a small box with a single button on it from his pocket and presses it. Right after he presses the button, several hatches flip open all around the room and release dozens of mini flying islands, drones, all of which were made from the same pulsing green plants as the walls within, walls with some having partly Right after he presses the button, several hatches flip open all around the room and release dozens of mini flying islands, all of which are made from the same pulsing green plant as the walls with some having partly exposed photons or miniature cores. The islands slowly move in to surround them. As the islands slowly closed in, they tried to run back, but the vault door they came through was already closed. Thank you for coming today. I was running low on test subjects. Good job getting this far, but thanks to your heroic sacrifice, science can continue. Also, the friends you left outside seem bored. I'll send a couple gifts for them too. The pirate guards left outside were sitting next to the hatch, back to back, surveying the surroundings for any threats. Don't you think they're taking too long? Maybe you're right. We should go check on them? Nah, it's probably just a long password or maze or something. I'm sure they're fine. I'm just gonna get mad. I think I'm going mad from boredom. Why is that? I'm hearing some strange noises nearby. Well, duh, we're on an island. It's the Flotrons. What else could it be? Maybe you really did go mad. No, not the ones for the island. Don't you hear them? No? They sat silently for a bit, until a swarm of floating green masses appeared from all around the island through the hatch they were protecting. They immediately stood up and prepared to face the masses. I told you. How was I supposed to know there'd be flying balls of snot after us? They opened fire on the green floating masses. The masses were falling one after the other for sure, but it wasn't making much difference, as there were simply too many of them. I guess this is why they weren't contacting us. A few of the green masses started speaking in unison. You may cease your futile resistance whenever you wish, but just know that from now on, you and your remaining friends are going to help me advance science to whole new levels, whether you want it or not. The main pirate group was not concerned by the disappearance of a small 10 people. They were pawns. They were disposable. The higher-ups had bigger goals. Much bigger goals. Wow, it seems like these pirates got baited into the trap laid by Nadru Tagu. Very nice story. It had a plot. It was interesting. It was like a mystery going through all the different rooms. What could Nadru Tagu have possibly set up? It's a very good story. It is a very good story indeed. I like it. That's a short story. Right. Now we have one from the strike, KK6 stock, a different perspective. And this one, very nice. Very nice. And I see this person has, well, I mean, it looks very nice. It looks submitted. It looks very nicely presented. I mean, we've got, this looks like a classroom submission. Like something you'd submit for class. Which is very good. Very, very good. Like it's got a header, it's got a title. I like it already. A perspective of the faction war, and this is from the coalition side. Okay. It started off like every day. He woke up quietly, making sure not to wake up his wife. He grabbed his glasses and got dressed. He made sure his son and daughter were asleep. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be they were. He grabbed his keys and headed off to his job. He started up the Driftian, their form of car, and flew to work. His job was one of the largest floating islands in the coalition. Arriving there, he went up the stairs to his office and logged on to his computer. As always, he checked his email. He worked at one of the biggest banks in the coalition, but had a minor job. He was getting close to promotion and worked hard every day. Many had fun on his floor, but he paid no attention, knowing that his promotion would give ease to that later. The reason why Commentator doesn't have his 2.0 is probably because his username was too long. So I just cut it off. I cut it off at the end. Sorry. He was getting close to promotion and worked hard every day. Many had fun on his floor, but he paid no attention, knowing that his promotion would give ease to that later. He had an email from his manager with a long PDF, and had to do his job with contacting people who had not paid their loans. So he contacts people who haven't paid their loans. The sun was past noon, and he packed his stuff. His kids were done with school and waiting for him to come home. On his way, he stopped at his buddy's house and had a drink or two. Andrew had a job at R&D and got a promotion 2 weeks ago, and dang, he told some amazing events that happened, and some of it possibly being secret. The wife greeted him once at home, Lisa, and said to Kevin and Sarah, who were playing a card game, Kevin and Sarah are his kids. Settling down in the recliner, he watched TV and the news. There was always news. Ever since the incident with the 3 largest powers, you could find stuff, both good and bad. A few days ago, strike destroyed Nova's 3rd largest ammunition factory, and they came back by capturing one of our military facilities. It was back and forth with no end. He switched channels looking for something the kids could watch as their game ended and were bored. Lisa was cooking up some steak with the tomato salad, which filled the house with a pleasing smell. They owned their personal island. Many didn't and shared it with others. He saved all his money in the 15 years and bought this island 5 years ago before the kids were born. He took good care of his island. Many were unfortunate and lost theirs due to many difficulties. There was farmland in the backyard, which is a side business that his wife started and was very successful. He did have some armaments on his island, if the worst came. There was a single shield generator and 1 mortar. Both were a bit rusty and needed repairs sooner or later. So this sounds like your standard life of a civilian. He's got an island to himself, which some people don't. Some people do have to share. But he's got a little farm going on. He's got a shield generator, which is doing pretty good that you've got a shield generator. And I guess in these times, a shield generator would come in very handy. The day was getting late, and he was working the engine of the tractor when his wife called him for dinner. The tractor's hydraulic engine tractor for his farm. The tractor's hydraulic fluid was leaking and needed to be repaired. He got inside and sat by the table to eat with the rest of the family. He told them about the day. For some odd reason, they were always interested. They finished eating right at the sunset, and when the kids were sent off to bed with a full stomach. Why did I say stomach? Stomach. He sat on the porch with his wife quietly as they rocked together. His wife woke him up instantly. It was the weekend, so he slept in, but the siren outside went off. It was an emergency. A warning sent out to the entire city that a few Federation ships were headed towards the area. The estimated number around was around 4, but there could be more. Everyone was to take action and hide in the clouds where they should remain undetected. That's a smart idea. Using clouds for cover Definitely a good idea. Um, he hurried to the control platform he built, and his family joined him. He knew that he would be unable to fight, so he pushed the throttle on the Flotrons. He was able to see 7 warships passing through the area. They were kitted out with some of the most advanced weapons ever seen. Their massive shields and power generation, they had never seen such. The island was twice as large as the office complex he worked at. The day passed. 2 friendly islands were fired at. 1 person was injured. Everyone knew that the coalition's military would take them out. These moments happen occasionally, but the other faction usually don't waste ammo unless they were able to make some good use out of the shot. The weekend ended shortly, and everyone went back to doing their things. So he headed off back to work, saying bye to his family for the day. I feel like that's foreshadowing of what's to come. That this is the last time he's gonna say bye to his family. I don't know why. I'm expecting some tragic turn. Getting to work, he checked his mail as fast waiting to see unread message. There was one, but he was sure it wasn't the promotion he wanted. It was once another client. He continued his day in the office until his phone rang. This never happens. Again, this is foreshadowing something bad's gonna happen. Picking up the phone, he says, "Hello, this is Mike from Railgun Networks. How may I help?" Interesting. When he heard the voice coming from the other end, he knew the voice immediately. It was his boss. They went through a discussion talking about his promotion, and you could tell by just walking that there was a radiating amount of happiness. Okay, happiness. It's okay. He's happy. I was not expecting that. His boss insisted he could take the rest of the day off, so he did. This is where trouble begins. He passed the bar knowing his buddy wouldn't be there, as he had 2 extra hours left in his day. He went home as fast as he could to his family. Getting home, his wife could see the smile out the window. She knew exactly what had happened. When he walked through the door, she asked him if he got the promotion, and of course, he said. She handed him the mail that came in this morning after he left. There were some taxes ads, but one letter stood out. It was from the coalition's military. Here we go. Here's the twist. He was recognized as a self-taught master engineer, and they could use his help assembling and working on islands of war. He was told that he was drafted on the assembly team. Here we go. Here's where things are about to pick up. It also said he had 3 days to pack up his stuff. It said there would be a military transport waiting for people in the city at the town hall at 15 o'clock. Those days passed, his wife worried, and the kids didn't know what was happening. They were sad. He headed over to City Hall and with 20 to 30 other citizens that were dragged into this war. The transport arrived at 15 o'clock exact, and it was amazing. The transport arrived at 15 o'clock, 1500 exact, and was amazing. He looked at the drifters and the flotrons. He studied them at home on his computer part with a 3D model, but to see these massive propulsion devices for himself put him in awe. There were a few railguns up on the side and front. It was plastered with sheet metal all over, had a shield generator on top of it. It was smaller than the war machines that had passed through the town earlier, but the ability to see all the details were wonderful. Inside it was covered with the latest technology. Holograms and 3D rendering systems were everywhere. Monitors for the parts of the craft were everywhere. His own personal island was nothing compared to this. His was a small device that controlled the drifters and flotrons to keep him level with no sudden movements, a black box to be put in your mind. But here, every slight movement was calculated. He knew how everything functioned, but the scale overtook him. It took a few hours to arrive at his destination, but when he got there and the door opened, there was this mega island. Titan Island, correction, but I'll take Mega Island. They were covered with the latest weaponry: mini cannons, micro cannons, grenadors, and crystallings. There's an ammo production facility in the far distance covered with clouds and the glare of the setting sun. They boarded a smaller craft to take them to their workstations. There's no time to explore, the captain said as they arrived to their assembly zone. He told everyone that the Nova Alliance were going to send a fleet of 22 ships towards one of the largest power plants in the Coalition's territory. Titan Islands confirmed. Yes, Titan Islands are confirmed. Massive Titan Islands. Pretty much the biggest types of islands. You could build like cities, entire cities on there. I'm thinking of adding some sort of version of Titan Islands to the game where basically it's a special realm where there's actually a ground that you can land on. I'm not sure about that. It could be interesting because then you could play with invasions coming from like the top. So like at the bottom you have like ground and you can land on it, but then you're like defending, I don't know, stuff. I don't know. It's just an idea that I had. They boarded a smaller craft to take them to their workstations. Oh wait, we already read that part. Um, they needed to outnumber them 1 to 2, so we had to get a move on. Right. They need to destroy a power plant in the coalition territory. Wait, hold on. You're in the coalition. Well, I'm trying to figure out what faction is this main character in. A few days ago, Strike destroyed Nova's third largest M. Okay. 2 friendly islands were fired at. One person was in. No, what? Where? Where? What? I thought that he was in the strike, but it looks like they're going to. Okay. I think they could still be in the. They could either right now. He could either be in the Nova Alliance and they're going to attack the coalition, or I don't know why. I think he is coalition. Yeah. So they have secret intel that the Nova Alliance is going to get attacked. Oh no, the Nova Alliance is going to attack. One of coalition's one of their current largest power plants. Okay, that was just a little bit confusing there. They needed to outnumber them 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So we had to get a move on. That means we need 11 ships. He told everyone how many ships we were to make over the next 2 days. His duties were only going to last the week, as the train team would be done in a different location and come back here. The team stayed up 14 hours to get the first ship out. They kitted it with spread guns and a few other nice weapons. The next day, him and his team got 2 ships out in a total of 12 hours. The team got faster at building them. On the 3rd day, he was headed over to the sleeping quarters to hear a large sound about 3 stories above. The speakers saying it was the ammo rack had exploded, but no one was hurt. Oh, the ammo rack exploded. The sleeping quarters were nice. They had a lounge to talk to people and a beer fridge. The beds were comfortable and warm. The days passed until a week was up. The train team had arrived a day earlier and got settled in, so everyone had started to pack up and head home. He boarded the craft, smaller this time, and headed back to his home city. On his way, he could see beat-up islands that had gone through battles, just managing to survive. He was lucky, unlike others. Many had lost their life, not just in the war, but where they had lived. War is never fun. He found his Driftian where he put it, and he found his Driftian just where he put it when he left, and was happy to see his house in the distance when going home. He saw his wife at the porch with the kids waiting for him to arrive. He had so many stories to tell them about what happened at the super island, but that is for a different time. They sat in the living room and he chatted for hours. All the problems they encountered while making the islands. Many didn't experience the war directly, but it had an impact on many families. Many will focus it on the war, but to forget the people who worked hard building and crafting what is used in wars. This was a perspective of a person who never saw the war directly, but was affected and helped out the coalition's military effort. That's what I thought. That's interesting. I was expecting something really bad to happen to him. I was expecting that this facility was going to get completely raided and destroyed and end in a tragedy, much like the Old Man in the Sky story, but actually at least it has a nice, relatively happy ending. It's like a day in the life. That's very nice. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. I like it. It's one of the more civil ones. Yeah, foreshadowing of Verd, I was scared. I was like, no, his family. Think of the children. You thought of the children. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Second to last one. I'm gonna take a sip of water. This is called Daybreaker, and just by that, I'm assuming it's kitchen. Yes, I believe it's kitchen. Okay. As the mist cleared... Wait, is it? Actually, I'm not sure anymore. I'll double check that. Kitchen. Is it? Yes, it's by kitchen. As the mist cleared, there was one massive island remaining, the Daybreaker class island, Crimson Dwarf. The Daybreaker was a massive island, one of the original floaters before the Cortex event. It was a secret, but not anymore. The story of the Crimson Dwarf's discovery was an interesting one. It was found by two young friends, new recruits to the military from the newly acquired farmland, a small sector of farming islands, who were neutral until profits began to dwindle and needed a steady income and protection. They hadn't even been on the job long, just finished basic training. They were on an internal patrol mission when they stumbled upon something interesting, something large. It went like this. Yo, bruv. I think I'm supposed to be bro. Or yo, bruv. Over there. What? That? I don't know. Let's check it out, the other replied as he began to steer the patrol ship towards the hulking mass obscured by its own mist. Once they passed through the false barrier, they saw something they did not expect at all. Mountains. Mountains. Snow and waterfalls. Not to mention mountains. Not only in the island that the island seemed to stretch for miles upon miles, overgrown with trees and vines and many other natural things. The chatter continued. That ain't no pifting fam. Pifting fam? Yeah, that is Butters as. Sorry, what? What type of... It's a roadman dialect. Interesting. And I like how you gave them special lingo. Like, special, like... I like it. Like, patrols, yeah. Okay, I'll call it in then. You know what they taught us? Call anything abnormal in. Sure, surely they know about this. I mean, it's in Nova territory. It's slang, yeah. Once they had called it in and activated their tracking beacon, they followed their orders to land and stay put. They did, and not long after a fleet of military research and battle islands came in, the Arch-General called them to his island. The Arch-General, the leader of all the army. They arrived on the flagship and met with the general. You boys have found possible the greatest find of Nova's entire history. I'm promoting you both to commanders straight away. Both of you are going to be stationed on this island during its development to use as your new flagship. Ooh, I like this. But wow, that's a big rank up from patrol to commander. Cleanup crews had already started work, and by the time they arrived back on the surface within a month, they had finished, and building crews had begun out to hollow zones for living quarters, weapons, corridors, command centers, and all other necessities. They had later found out that this was the largest recorded island found due to its size and being fitted with all of the new developmental super weapons, as well as 3 times the standard dreadnought armament. Wow, yeah, this is a flagship. Titan Islands make for great flagships, but they're also really big. And they also don't fit through warp gates. Titan Islands do not fit through warp gates, which means they have to travel to each location slowly, which also means that they're going to need all the other islands around it to travel with them slowly. So, like, you get massive... That's why travel time takes so long. But, like, smaller fleets you can easily get around, but the smaller fleets just get wiped out by the larger islands. But larger islands, like... These dreadnoughts and Titan Islands can't make it. They later found out that this was the largest island recorded due to its massive side. It had to have 5 shield generators just to cover the entire island. Wow. Work finished on the island over 3 years later. During that time, the island had even more advanced weapons and buildings built onto it. And most recently, a new super weapon that ran down the center of the island for almost half of its length. However, before its first test, they were forced to remove from their position due to the spreading infection. That movement is what brought them into contact with a prime scouting vessel. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Like, this is the moment where I'm thinking of Star Wars, where you just get the Death Star obliterating Aldebaran, something that planet. That movement is what brought them into contact with a prime scouting vessel, who immediately activated his major distress beacon, and no more than a few seconds later, a fleet of prime warships descended on their position. In a state of panic, the super weapon was activated and fired, decimating the fleet, and the shockwave caused some hanging stalactites to shear off from the island and land on the scouting vessel. The vessel self-destructed as the Crimson Dwarf warped safely for damage assessment and repair. It was later found out that the scouting vessel was being used as an escort for top-secret data, and it was being driven by none other than Muhna Iwasimo. Muhna Iwasimo, our awesome legend from the Prime. He's our Prime legend, yes. Our Prime legend indeed. I like that. I like how you tied that into the previous lore. And I like, this ties into the other story, where we've got the Where is it? Where we have the it was the epic. It was our epic here. Um, yes, I've been signed in. Thank you very much. This was our epic that we wrote. Um, let's see. Did it? Yeah, I believe this is right. Muna. It was a normal day. That's his island. He has the Inquisitor. Wait, what happened in this one again? Um, yes, yes. The island dropped massive. Yeah, I see it. Kind of. Wow. So did he single-handedly take down the entire? I think this is a different one. Oh, I see. No, no, no. Okay, yeah, these are two different stories. These are two different stories because this one is a so the scouting island was his island, but there are two different stories because in this one, he's in prime territory and the the Nova make it this far. But in this one, in Daybreaker, they're in Nova territory and there's a prime scouting vessel accidentally bumps into them and then summons a fleet of prime warships. Yeah, I see. I see. I see. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Um, then we have one more, and it was unfinished by SMP, but I went ahead and, I'll go ahead and read it, because you have a stream companion. Oh, that's so cute. That's nice. Whose story was correct? I mean, they both can be right. They're just two different stories taking place at two different times. And this one is by SMP. It's Infiltration. Right. At this point, SMP stops writing. May continue through this, though probably won't. Okay, so it's not complete, but we'll go ahead and give it a read. Oh, you can't see. There we go. Ah, Infiltration. On the streets of Asile I roamed, following the path to the rendezvous. By the way, this is not really like public knowledge. Asile is a strike. Asile is a strike coalition city, most probably. Because I came up with it. On the streets of Asile, I'm trying to figure out how you found out about that. Yeah. On the streets of Asile I roamed, following the path to the rendezvous. Glancing around to make sure I was not being followed, I diverged from my path and slipped into the shadows. The path I took was well trodden by the vagrants and thieves, and I had no intention on socializing with their kind, so I quickened my pace. Eyes from every direction analyzed my actions, though none decided to take an attempt for my life or my wallet. As I strode the last few steps to the inconspicuous landing dock, I was greeted by a cold breeze, refreshing compared to the stale city air. What? Where is that drone? I mumbled under my breath. They're late. 5 minutes, and counting. To pass the time, I tried to formulate a schedule for the rest of the day. A faint whirring noise interrupted my train of thoughts. Trying to spot a patch in the sky that didn't match the background. What? That's not even a sentence. A faint whirring noise interrupted my train of thought. Trying to spot a patch in the sky that didn't match the background. Reaching out to grab it, a monotone voice slightly to the left where I'd reached for it declared, "Hello, Thomas. Insert all items of importance into the chamber." Cursing slightly, I repositioned my hands around the area the sounds came from. This time I was successful, and I put a note in the plans and released the drone to fly all the way back through the vast open air it came from. Is the camo they make getting better? I questioned myself, or is my sight getting worse? I left the same way I came, in a hurried pace. Back in the familiar pathways of the city, I headed back to my home, a route I had already memorized like the back of my hand. The housing district was deep in the center of the city, where most of strike civilians lived. I knew it. Asile is a strike city. Some had decided to live in their own establishments, while others, mostly bandits, lived in the outskirts of the city. The streets were full of activity, enough so that as I converged onto the civilian path, I was never noticed. Soon enough, I reached my home, a moderately sized room in an apartment. An imposing wooden door greeted me, watching those that arrived before it. As I unlocked and pushed it aside, I glanced at my residence. It might not have been big, but it was spacious for my standards, considering I lived alone. The room was void of clutter, save for my possessions on a singular desk and the walls surrounding it. On that table there were several piles of paper and hunks of metal in odd shapes. The notes had writing and drawings of war plans, tactics, and weaponry. Models and failed experiments served as paperweights, though I found myself playing with them as well. Overall, the space was simplistic, but it served its purpose well. It was the next day, and I carried on my morning routine. Heading out onto the bustling streets, I set out to my workplace, the weapons research facility. On the outside, it looked like a lunatic's handiwork, as it was compromised full of multiple geometric shapes combined in a haphazard manner. But the building was just a facade, for the actual testing resided down the ground below. An unfortunate incident had taken place several decades ago, where the safety precautions had failed and projectile demolished nearby infrastructure that claimed several lives. Well, can't dwell on that, no. Being so engrossed in my thoughts, I'd walked straight into the door that was the entrance to the laboratory. That's funny. Hey, the sentry snickered. ID. I've been working here for 13 years, Matt. You've seen me come here every day, I retorted, annoyed. Standard procedure. Can't change that, Matt replied. Begrudgingly, I handed him a white card that gave me access to the building. Finally, I went in. Props and contraptions dotted the areas. None that were functional, but at least it was a spectacle that could convince the layperson that it was real. So it's kind of like a museum. It looks like a museum on the outside because it's kind of got random haphazard geometric shapes. It has some contraptions, but then in a corner there was an inconspicuous trapdoor that led downwards. As it opened, I descended to the real testing facility. Everyone was fixated on the ongoing discussion. That their acknowledgement of my arrival was just a cursory glance in my direction. You see, most people are maximizing firepower with the battle islands. They would not be prioritizing movement. That would be their downfall. I see what you did there. That would be their downfall. An excited voice announced, "Yes, we know, but can't be hit if we are fast enough. I've watched enough battles to know," a second voice commented. "Yeah, did you watch our recent victory? That was great," a third voice interrupted. "Many islands don't have much protection against kinetic attacks. We need to take advantage of that," a fourth voice piped in. I had enough of the unending chatter that led nowhere, and interrupted. "Everyone, slow down. What are we doing today? It seems like he's worked there 13 years, he's the boss." This calmed down the frenzy that everyone worked themselves in. It also provided the benefit knowing who is speaking what. "Constructing weapons," James replied. "Specifics, I question?" "An activatable 30-meter flame geyser," Emily enthusiastically declared, bouncing up and down. "It's undecided, actually, but you can chip in with ideas," James asserted, trying to veto their silly ideas. The strategists had come over again. How exciting. They'd often stop by to discuss and generate ideas on what we could create next, or learn, or what we had made to adjust their strategies accordingly. Today was the former. I had a chat with Mike, who was not so deeply engrossed in the conversation. What happened so far in this ongoing war? Recently we had a victory against NOAA, destroying one of their ammunition facilities. Interesting. And they retaliated by capturing one of our military bases. Prime has been prodding and poking. Wait, what? Wait, hold on, this is flipped. In the other one, it said the Nova destroyed the Strike's ammunition facility, and is this guy Prime? Wait, who's we? Should be Strike, right? You're in a Strike city. So recently, Strike had a victory against Nova. However, in the previous story, Okay, so it seems like it's flipped. It doesn't seem like that important of a detail, but one side does need to be correct. Like, what's actually happening here? Like, because what is it? Because the Nova are saying that the Strike attacked their ammunition factory. They retaliated by taking out a research base. But then, am I getting this wrong? Daybreaker, Epic Infiltration. I might be getting this wrong. But anyway, that's aside from the point. Prime recently made a victory against Nova, destroying one of their ammunition facilities, and retaliated by capturing one of our military bases. Prime has been prodding and poking, trying to gain land. No one seems to be winning this far. This is a war of attrition, or it will soon turn into one. He summarized the past events. "Oh, good to know," I responded, more out of politeness than anything else. At this point, SMP stops writing. Who's SMP? This is a new character in the story. Nah. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, well, so from this story, a few days ago, Strike destroyed Nova's third largest ammunition facility, and they came back by capturing one of our military facilities. So okay, so what actually happened is no, in the other story here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the other story. I'll pull up the other story. In the other story, where is it? In faction submissions. It should be in a different perspective. Here we go. So this is written by the Strike. This is written by the Nova. So from the Strike's point of view, the Strike destroyed Nova's third largest factory. Okay, in this point of view, the Strike. Oh, yeah, that's right. In this point of view, the Strike did destroy one of their ammunition facilities, and then here, the Nova came back to capture the Strike's military facilities. Oh, so actually, oh, that's right. Both of these point of views are from the Strike. So actually, they're both agreeing with each other. We is referring to Strike. So Strike had a victory against Nova, and destroyed one of their ammunition facilities. In this one, this is also from the Strike. The Strike destroyed Nova's largest ammunition factory. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then the Nova came back and destroyed the military facilities. So this is actually preparing for the defense from Nova. So we captured their military facility in the different perspective. So actually, yeah, they're both very similar. So SMP did write a Strike story, but I believe there's actually a spy. I believe, because it's called Infiltration. I don't know if I'm giving spoilers. SMP, tell me if you want me to stop. But I'm just going to speculate here. It is a Nova Citizen spy. Yes, that's what I thought. It's a Nova Citizen spy. That's what this whole exchange was in the beginning. For 13 years, he is feeding information to Nova. Which begs the question, how did... So, okay, that means Strike also has their spies. Strike has their spies somehow. Strike has their spies somehow, because somehow the Strike found out... Where is it? Somehow he may have leaked it. He may have gone captured. Oh, the internet was cut. Wait, what? The internet was cut? The internet was cut? Oh no, does that mean it's buffering? Does that mean it's buffering? Please don't be buffering. Please don't be buffering. Please don't be buffering. It's fine. It's fine, it seems. Yeah, the stream is fine. I'm not sure what SMP is talking about. Yeah, the stream is fine. So has it been buffering at all? Because it seems to be... Oh, the stream broke on your end. Okay, whew, I was worried there for a second. Yeah, which means actually Strike has a spy inside of Nova because they were able to find out and coordinate a defense for Nova's next attack. Yeah, they were able to coordinate a defense. Where is it? Nope, this is the wrong one. It's a different perspective. Right here. Right here. Where? Promotions. Something like... Yeah, I do believe that it was... Where is it? Yeah, but the Strike know that the Nova's coming back for them, which means Nova in here. No, this. Yeah, which means they're gonna have to prepare. These guys and these guys are kind of working together. This could actually be this can't be the training team. But anyway, I like how their chat is not updating. Oh, I see. Chat is not updating. Right. So that's a problem with my chat. Let me actually, here, you can look at that while I quickly look at my chat. Next page token, let's see what's wrong with chat. What are you logging, my friend? So it seems to be in an infinite loop cycle of refreshing its token. And I'm going to make sure, all these tokens unique? Oh man, it's spamming token refreshes. It's spamming token refreshes. Okay, I'm going to mark that down as a bug quickly. bug token refresh spam. Actually, I need to find the point quickly where it is. Token. It seems to have been refreshing for actually a long time. Yeah, it seems to have been refreshing for a long time. Just trying to find right when it is. Next page token, refreshing access token is here. So it seems like the last message sent was the spy is the main character. And then since then it's. So yeah, okay, bug token refresh spam. I think I know what the problem is. Because this seems to be exactly at the same time as the last one. Exactly at the same time as the last one went. And we just did a bunch of calls. That's not good anyway. There we go. It's back. Yeah, I think its token expired, and as it tried to get another one, it wasn't. It just kept asking because it didn't finish asking for some reason, even though it did get a new one. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so I believe that is all of them. That is all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank them now. So I will be giving out. So what I'm thinking of is I will be giving the top 4 a prize, and then I'll give the top. I'll give like the second one, the third one, and the fourth one get a prize. But then the top one also gets a prize. The first place one gets a prize. Just call this first place. It's probably going to be, let's say, probably we'll do a, this one was a hard one. We will give you 2 exotic items, and then we're gonna give you 1 exotic item. Ooh. So actually, let me go ahead and rank these. Before I do that, I need to quickly edit something because I'm having trouble navigating back and forth with Discord. Hold on a second while I full camera. Nope, this is going to be Discord. I don't have a shortcut to go to Discord. Collection, normal streaming, Discord. Right, here we go. So now I should have Discord right up there. There we go. So I can go Windows, Discord. Perfect. Yeah, who do you think is in first place? That's a good question. Well, I don't know who's in first place just yet. Which one? Okay, so I'm going to just compile my favorite ones. Infestation was, let me open them all actually. We have the Infestation. We have the Overachievers. We have the Old Man in the Sky, which was a little bit depressing. We have the continuation of Infestation. We have Mysterious Force. Okay. We have the Planet of War. We also have the Epic. That one was fun. Then we have the Raid of Nadru Tagu. How many are these? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12. We have a different perspective. I believe I already have a different perspective open, though. Tell me if there are any duplicates there. Oh, there's Infiltration twice. And then there should be... Yeah, there should be 11. Faction chat should be this one. We already have Infiltration. So that's now... I believe now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. We've got 11. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide these around the top and put the top ones that I like here and then the not so top ones down here. So you were good. I like you. You can see these tabs, right? The Planet of War was way too short. I'm sorry. And Mysterious Force was okay. The Overachievers was also a little bit. It was just a little bit. It wasn't short story. There wasn't really. I mean, there was a plot, but it just kept escalating and escalating. Um, ooh, a different perspective. I liked this one quite a bit. Question is, would it be okay? The infestation. I believe the infestation was well written. I believe it's definitely at the top. The raid of Nadri Tagu was also pretty good, but is it better than a different perspective of the faction war? Old Man in the Sky, Epic, and Infiltration, the True. Wow, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 here, and all of these are really good. Yeah, I think I'm keeping Mysterious Force down here. Um, yeah, these ones were very well written. Old Man wasn't too good. Um, Old Man, Old Man was a little bit depressing. I'm gonna bump you down a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna bump. I think yeah. I think all of these are all of these better than Old Man. Yeah, I agree. All of these are better than Old Man. Um, so now which one is the best out of all of these? The True. The True is a continuation of the Infiltration, but I like the Infiltration. No, sorry, it's a continuation of the Infestation, but I like the Infestation a lot more than it. Infiltration. As you can tell, I'm not even. I don't even remember which faction submitted which one, and I'm definitely not judging based on faction. So we'll see. We'll see who ends up at the top. Um, we have. This one was definitely in the top. Infiltration wasn't finished, so actually Infiltration wasn't finished. I'm gonna have to put you. I'm gonna have to move you down. It was interesting, but it wasn't finished. So I'm gonna have to keep moving you down. Oh wait, we have Epic twice. Wait, we have Epic twice. That means I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm missing one, aren't I? Question is, which one am I missing? Faction submissions. I'm missing Daybreaker, I believe. Here it is. I'm missing Daybreaker. Yes, that's the one I'm missing. So Daybreaker was here. So Planet of War, this one. Infiltration wasn't finished, so yeah, I'm sorry. Daybreaker was about. Daybreaker wasn't as long. Daybreaker, I'm gonna put you here. I'm sorry. I just something. I mean, some of them are better than others, and I liked it. It wasn't as good as. Oh wait, Old Man in the Sky was. Old Man in the Sky. Yeah, I'm putting you there. Mysterious Forces here. Okay. Oh wait, that's right. You can't see that. Sorry about that. So what we've got is these ones are pretty much locked. Planet of War, the Overachievers. Oh wait, Infiltration's not supposed to. Infiltration wasn't finished. Yeah. The Old Man in the Sky and Daybreaker and Mysterious Force are all in that position. So you all, I'm sorry, you didn't make it to the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I just need to eliminate one. So one of these is not like the others. The Infestation was really good. The Raid was also really nice. You know what? I might put you at the top for now. And the True. Actually, I think this is the order. Right here. Right here. A different perspective. Actually, yeah, I do think Infestation was one of the best ones we had. The question is a different perspective. I like the different perspective. Well, firstly, I like the different. It's a tie between these two. Um, it's definitely a tie between those two, and then we've got these two. Actually, these two are kind of the same story. So you know what I'll do? We'll put first place as both of these because they both really good. They're both really, really good. So we'll give both of these two exotics, and then we'll give both of these one exotic. Yeah, we'll do that. So a different perspective and Infestation are the winners for this one. So we have first and second. we have infestation, and we also have a different perspective. And then the next one is the rate of nod to goo, and our epic, or it's called prime pilots in peril. So this one is the raid of Nodru to goo and prime pilot in peril. So you guys will get, so these, you get an exotic item, you get an exotic item, and then you get 2 exotic items, and then you get 2 exotic items. So there's our positions. And these 2 are kind of together, and these 2 are kind of together. Now, let's see which factions did what completely blindly. I'm hoping that one faction just didn't come out on top and just, well, it's always nice when the factions are neck and neck. A different perspective is by the strike. So the strike has 2 exotics. Infestation, I believe it was by Nova. Yes, the infestation was by Nova. It was one of the first ones submitted. It was really good. Raid of Nodru to goo was by Prime. Wait, and the Prime Pilot in Peril is also Prime. Wait, what? Prime Pilot in Peril is also Prime. That gives, wow, that was even. That was neck and neck. I'm just trying to find, I don't see Prime Pilot in Peril though. I just want to confirm. Oh, it's called Epic. Yeah, that was definitely Prime. Wow. What's an even split? What's an even split of 2-2-2? Perfectly balanced. Wow, look at that. Right. Yes, as all things should be. Right. So, our next faction challenge is, well, I haven't decided on anything. So I'll be starting. Well, this was a fun faction challenge. It was longer, and we didn't have faction challenges for a while before this. The next faction challenge is probably going to be. It's not going to be a challenge, but it's going to be open through the weekend for anyone to submit different faction challenges. I see some of you saying realistic islands. Actually, I'll open up the faction submissions. I'll keep that open so you can keep your suggestions, throw your suggestions into there. Anyway, well, that's it for this one. We have 2 parts to the stream, so if you want to watch some of the other ones I did, watch yesterday's live stream. Also, announcements time. So Game Maker just released their 2.3 beta update, and with the changes that it's made, it's going to completely change my timeline. So what I'm going to do is tonight I'm going to finish up the enemies and items update. Well, it's not going to be items anymore. It was supposed to be a bunch of items for you as well as a bunch of items for enemies, but I haven't actually worked on any of the items for the player. I've just been working on most of the enemy items. So what's going to happen is I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to cut the update short. We are going to go, there'll be a test version for you testers who want it, and then over the weekend I'll fix any bugs that might have popped up, and then we'll go I'll throw it right into the game. That's because for the next few months, we are going to have to rework a lot of the internal structure of the game. Firstly, to be better. The code is kind of turned into this warped mess of spaghetti. Secondly, because there's better data structures I can use. I can make the game faster. It can be more optimized. It can be less buggy as well. Just more clean things, better documented, better organized in my head as well. So that could take upwards of 2 months. It could even go to 3. And there pretty much won't be any updates to Steam during this time. What I will do, just to stay, so it doesn't seem like I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing random stuff for 2 months and hopefully things are different and better. I will be trying to work on my YouTube channel. So I'm thinking instead of Tester Tuesday and Friday, we'll do videos every Tuesday and Friday with short cuts of what I'm working on I don't know, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. I don't see it going longer than 10 minutes because 10-minute video means that it's like an hour of editing, and I don't really want to spend much time editing. So basically how I work is, as I'm going through my stuff, if I think I'm working on something cool, I'll just, send a 1-minute recording of like, hey, this is what I'm working on, and then I'll just, at the end of the couple days, I'll just stick it all together. So that's what I'll be doing. So over the weekend, as well as bug fixing, I will be working on Discord changes. There's some big Discord changes that are coming up. Some of you suggested starboards, being able to give each other tiers, the crystals, special starboard channels, upvotes and downvotes instead of thumbs up and thumbs down. Those changes will be coming soon. Also, my chats. This, right here. Working on that. Working on Islander needs to get it as well. So what I'm thinking for this is Islander, so everything is handled within Island. All your shopping is handled within Islander. And then in order to claim something, or in order to change something, Islander will give you, like, if you want to change it, you'll ask Islander, you'll have an inventory, each of you will get your own inventory of, hey, here's all the items I have. And then you will, and I mean, I can give out these cosmetic items for challenges as well. Like, for example, winners of these might get cosmetic items in the future. I don't think I can backlog so much. But we're thinking of, then once it gives you a special key, it has an expiry time. You can put this, you can throw it into the YouTube chat, like, I don't know, something like key, and then it's like a ba-da-da-da-da, something like this. I don't know what that is. It'll give you this key. You paste it in, and then on this end, it will this is a very special code. It will decode whatever this is supposed to be and then apply your cosmetic changes appropriately. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Send your things into the faction submissions. I'm not sure if I increase the cooldown on the faction submissions, but I'll bring it down to normal time. Thanks for watching. I will see you all whenever the next one is. Goodbye.